What's up, everyone? After a busy couple of months of getting off of active duty, moving to Philadelphia, and getting settled in, I've finally started business school. Now that I'm all set up and have started classes, I thought I'd start a new series chronicling my time here at Wharton. When I was choosing business schools, I couldn't find much straight up, no BS content on what business school is actually like. Now, maybe there's a reason for this, but I'm not seeing it, so I'm gonna go ahead and try to make that for you. I'm gonna post videos on bigger topics here on YouTube, and then do most stuff on Instagram via Instagram stories for like in the moment stuff, answering questions, all that stuff. Well, feel free to leave comments here on YouTube or DM me on Instagram, and I'll try to get back to them as soon as possible. I'm hoping doing this will give you a peek into what life is actually like at a top MBA program like the one here at Wharton, so you can decide if you want to get an MBA yourself, what school you want to go to, and maximize your time if you do decide to do it. It's early, but so far business school is awesome. And maybe I'm biased because I'm coming from the Army, I'm coming from Fort Bragg, North Carolina, not New York City or DC or San Francisco like most people, but I'm really enjoying it. I'm surrounded by hundreds of peers who are incredibly smart, incredibly driven, and just ready to get after it for the next couple of years. I will say the first month has been pretty hectic and chaotic and kind of a lot, but I feel like things are starting to fall into a rhythm. That being said, there's already been 3 things I've messed up and that I definitely want to give some advice on for things I wish I could go back and do again. The first one is, as I mentioned, I moved recently from Fort Bragg, North Carolina up here to Philadelphia for business school. There's some things I did well and some things I did not so well. So what I did well is I got here a good week and a half before preterm started, and I highly, highly recommend it. Try to get here a week or 2, preferably 2 weeks before preterm even starts. The reason for that is once things get going, there's just so much stuff. So you want to be here before and get settled in, get your stuff set up, get a feel for the area before, all of these opportunities start presenting themselves, and before, to a lesser degree, before classes start, and just before things get going. Now, what I messed up is while I was here early, my stuff did not get here until I was already here for a month. So for like a long time, I was just sleeping on the floor. Not ideal, but not the end of the world. But more so, it was just frustrating because classes started and everything, and then I had 30 boxes of stuff show up. So it was like, gotta do classes, gotta do clubs, gotta meet people, and oh, by the way, now I have to, get my room set up and get everything put away and all that. Trust me, you don't want to be in a scenario where either you're going out and doing stuff and you come back and nothing's set up, or you're going out and doing stuff and then you come back and there's just boxes everywhere. Just come early, get set up, get acquainted with the area, and then you can really maximize school once it starts. Plus, when everyone first gets here, and I mean, it's still the case now, but especially during preterm and everything, everyone is so excited to be starting business school and to be out of that consulting or banking or whatever job where they were working crazy hours, and just ready to be social, do stuff. So you want to take advantage of that. And if you were still setting your shit up, you're not going to be taking advantage of it. The second thing I wish I could kind of go back and change already is there's a lot of core classes. At least here at Wharton, at most business schools, there's a decent number of required core classes. But over the summer before, you can try to waive out of them. My advice, try to waive out of everything. So like I said, over the summer, there'll be an opportunity for you to present your credentials for why you shouldn't have to take a course. So for example, you can say, I shouldn't have to take the intro to accounting class because I'm a CPA. And of course they're gonna, allow that. Or I shouldn't have to take the econ course because I was an econ major undergrad. Okay, you don't have to take the econ course. So the reason I say to try to waive out of everything, especially if you're a business undergrad major, is because you can still take the course. You can waive out of the course and then still choose to take it. So try to do the credentials, and if you present credentials and they're like, no, you still have to take the course, they'll give you the option to try to test out of it. Depending on how comfortable or not you are with the subject, I would say even if you're not that comfortable, still just take the test, because if you fail, it doesn't matter. And if you pass, you're just buying yourself an option to, okay, I can take the basic accounting class or I cannot. I can take the basic stats class or I can just not. You want to have those options. I'll be straight up, there's 2 or 3 classes I'm in right now. I didn't waive out of anything. And there's 2 or 3 classes that I'm not sure I'm getting a ton of value out of. So just try to waive out of everything, buy yourself an option, and go from there. And of course, if you are coming here to Wharton, DM me and I can go over some of the classes that maybe are a little more and less valuable. The third thing I wish I could kind of go back and change is once you get here, there are so many opportunities that are going to be thrown at you. And I'm not dumb. I knew coming to Wharton, that there would be stuff that comes up and opportunities that present themselves, but there is far more than I thought. You're gonna be bombarded with things from school clubs, from fellowships, for internships, for just so many different opportunities that what I highly recommend is you spend some time over the summer to kind of map out what you think you want to do. So go through the list of school clubs and point out like, okay, this sounds interesting, this sounds interesting, this sounds interesting. Just have a list of things you want to look into further, and you know, all the other ones are like, okay, I'm not gonna do that, I'm not gonna do that. Same thing with like fellowships and whatnot. I didn't look into a single fellowship, and you know, all of a sudden I have like 10 in my email and I'm like, I don't even know what these are. I don't know what's useful, what's not useful. Does this apply to me? Does this not? Do the groundwork ahead of time. That way, when you get here, it's not like you're getting pulled into things that you actually don't want to do, but you just feel like you should do because everyone else is doing. Or you won't miss really good opportunities that actually would be really helpful for you that you just kind of slip through the crack because the application period is 2 weeks into you being here, which, by the way, there's a lot of things like that for whatever reason. I did this with the clubs and it was super helpful. You know, my initial list wasn't exactly what I'm going to do club-wise, but it was pretty close and it helped me stay more focused. So I just wish I had done that with like the fellowships, the internships, just all the other stuff as well. But we're only a few weeks into school here and I'm just giving you my raw perspective, my no BS, straight up what I'm thinking. Realize that a little further into business school, my perspective might change, but right now these are the big things I wish I had done that I didn't do so far. Some things I think I am doing well on and highly recommend is figure out what classes matter and what classes don't. The classes that matter, focus on. Do well on, do the homework, do the practice problems, show up to office hours if you need help, all that kind of stuff. The ones that don't feel like you need to get an A in something that doesn't matter. I've seen it a lot here already I mean, the school is filled with a bunch of type A people who are used to doing really well at whatever it is they're doing. So I think a lot of people have a hard time coming to grips with the fact that they don't need to get an A in everything. I think you are far better off spending that time either looking into stuff you're interested in, whether that's, you know, consulting, banking, search funds, whatever, and just being social and meeting people. You gotta realize like so much of the value of business school is the people you get to be around. You are around just phenomenal, driven, just great people. So go to dinners, go to parties when it's not COVID. Like, go do all of that stuff. It's worth your time. But seriously, I really hope this helps. I hope that this helps people who are coming from a similar path as me, are able to maximize and do better than I do. And seriously, the more engagement there is, you know, between comments on YouTube, DMs and follows and whatnot on Instagram, the more motivated I am to share more stuff and do more things. So please, if you like this, like the video, subscribe, comment, follow me on Instagram, send me a DM, all that kind of stuff. Really enjoy hearing from you guys. But anyways, that's all I've got. So let me know if you think this is gonna be an interesting series, something that's interesting to you. And until next time, keep killing it.